Hey there, I'm Shauna and welcome to Yoga Snacks. Yoga nourishment for the body, mind, and spirit. So let's come to sit with a long spine, any way that's comfortable for you. You might notice I'm on the floor today. You're welcome to be on a chair, but we're going to do some lying down stuff, so I thought I'd start here on the floor. And let's just take a few breaths. So maybe close your eyes. You might want to bring a hand to the belly or a hand to the chest. And then let's take a couple deep breaths inside them, out the mouth. So as you inhale, deep inhale, eyes popping out of your head. Just kidding. And then exhale. And we'll do that again. So when you inhale, hold it just for a moment, kind of let some tension come to the surface. And then exhale. Let go of as much tension as you can. And one more time. Okay, awesome. So let's lie down. I'm going to put a folded blanket under my head, but you might like to have a pillow. And I have a yoga strap. So a bathrobe tie or a belt of some sort would work. And then let's lie down. So start by lying down, head on a support, knees bent, feet on the floor, and your belt or a strap close by. And then just take a few moments. So now that we're lying down, sometimes it's easier to connect to the breath. So as you settle here, you may want to bring your hands onto your belly. And just notice as you breathe in, does the belly rise and fall? Well, actually, as you breathe in, does the belly rise? As you breathe out, does the belly fall? And maybe not. Maybe, especially at the beginning of the practice, this might not be how the breath is flowing. But you might notice that as you go through the practice, the breath gets a little bit deeper, starts to have more of a rhythm to it. Okay. And then you can always come back to your breath. Let your breath be your anchor. You might also notice the breath more into your upper chest. But now we're going to start to move, and we'll start by slowly turning the head. Just along the floor. You can keep one hand at your chest and one hand at your belly, or arms maybe out to the side as you turn your head. And just as we've done when we sit in the chair, not going so far that it causes pain or even discomfort, just slow exploration. And then bring your head back to center, back to neutral. Maybe deep exhale. And let's take the arms up and circle the wrists. Again, wiggle the fingers a little bit, flick them. Circle the wrists again, bend the elbows, and just a couple of times from side to side with the arms. So I like this, I use this a lot. When you're lying on the floor, it gives you a little bit more of a tactile sense. You can even kind of let your left shoulder lift as your arms go to the right, your right shoulder lift as your arms go to the left, or stick with just moving the arms. And then let's switch the arm that's in front, back and forth a couple times, maybe letting the shoulder lift as you go. And then back to center, release your arms, and now drop your knees from side to side. And make sure there's not junk in the way. And then you can just kind of loosen things up. Get to notice and feel what the body's like today. And then after the next time, To the right, you can lift the knees, and for a few moments just resting on your back, feeling already has there been a change in how you're breathing. Okay, and then let's draw the right leg and start to bring the right leg in towards you, and then back the right leg away. And you could hold the back of your thigh, bring the leg in, and back the leg away. Or you can hold around the shin as I was before. Just a couple of those. And ideally, coordinating your breath with the movement. So as the knee comes in, squeezes the air out. As you breathe in, the leg backs away to make space. Just a couple of those. Okay. And then next time the leg is straight, take the belt, or actually backed away, put the belt around your right foot. And let's put the belt today just in front of your heel. And then straighten your leg and bring your leg down probably to the height of the other leg. And just press out through your heel, but also press out through this part of your foot called the mounds of the toes. And then feel how your hips are resting on the floor and begin to slowly bring your right leg towards you. It's not important how far it comes. You can even walk your hands up the belt a little bit. And then just find a place to hold. Let it be as if you're standing on the air. Bend your elbows, let your elbows come down by your back. And again, lift up like you're standing on the air. Maybe opening into the back of the knee here. Toes could be a little bit spread. Just breathe and feel. As you stay here for a few breaths, you could straighten your left leg. And the first bit is to have your left leg just totally relaxed. And notice what that's like. If it's painful, you're going back to the bent knee. If it feels okay, you can stay. And then we're going to bring some awareness into this left leg. So turn the left toes to face up and press out through your left foot like you're standing on something. If at any point this is too intense for you, definitely bend your left knee, go back to that, or back off a step so your left leg is relaxed. Then let's bend the left knee, everybody. Reach the right hand up the belt. And as you exhale, tip your left knee open to your left and start to open your right leg to your right. Let your hips be balanced on the floor. Press out through the sole of the foot as you draw back from where the belt is supporting you. Opening into the back of the knee, just feeling and breathing. And then inhale, take the right leg up and the left leg up. Lean your left knee in just a little bit and take your right leg a little bit to your right in front of the leg. If it doesn't go in front, you just make the bend a little less. And hold the belt in a way that's comfortable for now. Open the back of the knee and slightly turn your right leg to the right. And take the leg back to center. Slip your foot out of the belt. Rest your 2 feet on the floor. Take a couple breaths. Okay, and then let's go to the left side. So bring your left leg in, exhaling, bringing it in close, inhaling, backing it away. Okay, and then take your belt, put it around the arch of your left foot, but close to your heel, so just in front of your heel. And then you lift up through your foot, out through your foot like you're standing. Press your heel away, press the mound of the toe. And then start to slowly lift the leg. So maybe your leg isn't going to lift. That's no problem. You just keep it where you can maintain without pain. And start to bring the leg towards you. Once you find a place where you can hold one strap in each hand, elbows may be bent, and resting on the floor. Then this is a great place to stay, or straighten your right leg, and then again, you can start with the leg relaxed. Just feel what that's like. Sometimes that's already a lot. If it feels okay though, see what happens if you steady your right leg and press out through the sole of the foot. Toes point up, leg is centered and active. Okay, and then bend the right knee. Take the belt into the left hand, open your right knee a little bit to the right, and start to open your left leg a little bit to the left. Keep the foot basically parallel to the floor. It's a pose called Supta Padangusthasana, which is reclining big toe pose, sometimes called reclining hamstring stretch. Then inhale, take the legs up, bring your right leg, lean it in a little bit, take the belt into your left hand, just bringing your leg a little bit to your right. Okay, and then the leg goes back to center, bend the knee, slip the foot out of the belt. Rest for a moment. Just take a breathing break. What's the breath like? And then you can roll over onto your side. You can lift yourself up to hands and knees position and come to, we're going to do the pose called cat-cow. So I'm going to zip this up just a little. Okay, come to hands and knees, so tabletop. And in this pose, belly goes down, chest lifts. And then as you exhale, you can round your back, head can drop. Just move through these two places. Okay, and then come back to table. Reach your right leg behind you and press out through your foot, a little bit like we did when we were doing that hamstring stretch, and lift your right leg up so that it's maybe in line with your right hip. If you feel steady and you know it, even if you don't, pick up your left leg and come into the balancing cat. And then bring your right knee down, back to tabletop. Used a lot of willpower not making my meowing cat sounds, but maybe on the second side. So you're in table, stretch the left leg behind you, press out through the heel, and then maybe lift the left leg. Tone the abdomen a little bit, and if you feel steady and you know it, pick up your right arm. Looking at the ground or forward. And if you like, a little meow. And then hand to the mat, knee down, and curl your toes under, lift your hips, and come into downward facing dog. Fingers are spread. Pressing into your arms, lifting your hips. It might be helpful to keep your knees a little bit bent here, but if you're comfortable in the pose, the legs can straighten, the heels can reach in the direction of the ground, though they don't need to touch. And then we're going to start to walk the feet in, walk the hands back towards your feet, bend your knees as much as you need to as you go, and then as you're ready to come up, you press strongly into your feet. Maybe hug your belly a little towards your spine. Slowly uncurl. Come all the way up. Circle. Shoulders back and forth. And shake a little. Okay, so clear this off the mat. And we'll do a couple of standing poses. So here you can have a block for your hands just in case you need them, blocks or books, I guess, or you can have your chairs handy. We're going to start with the feet a little bit wide apart. 5-pointed star, getting ready for triangle pose. So outer edges of the feet parallel to the mat. Hands on the hips for a moment and then back up. As you exhale, turn your right leg out 90 degrees. Check that your knee turns as well. So your thigh is going to turn out, and you could maybe just kind of lift the quadricep muscle there. Arms up. As you inhale, dip backwards. Stretch your right arm up and open this whole side of the body. Let's bring the left hand onto the hip. As you exhale, start to side bend to your right and bring your right hand down to your block if you have one. If you don't have one, hand on chair or hand on the inside of the leg. And then you need more stability in the hips to hold yourself up. Roll your chest open. And if you feel steady and you know it, you can also take your left arm up. Sometimes you get to hear some beautiful popping sounds. Really press into your feet for stability. Use your breath to be your guide. And then from here, we're going to come up. Press strong into the legs. Inhale, come up. Let's take the hands to the hips. Slowly turn the right foot to face forward. And then turn the left foot out 90 degrees. Right foot could turn in. Spread the toes, find your balance. Just check what's happening in this knee. Make sure it's directed towards the center. Engage the quadricep. Maybe let's keep the right hand on the hip as you take your left arm up. Dun, dun, dun. Exhale, side bend, reach. And then pivot the hand down, maybe block on high height. Other hand can be on the hip, or you can always have your hand in front. Start to turn your chest open. Strong, stable legs, finding your breathing. Maybe the arm floats up. And then to come out, you can bend the knee a little. Sometimes that's more stable for coming up. Turn your feet to face forward. Pause in this wide position. Maybe the arms float up, 5-pointed star. And we're going to do one more standing one. So the right leg, well, I shouldn't say that. We're going to just do this pose next. As you exhale, bend your right knee. Line your right knee with your right over the center of your heel. So looks like we're going to do a warrior pose. From here, side bend, right elbow can be on right thigh or right hand onto the block. Balance, steady, strong, steady legs. Look at what's going on in your knee. Centering it, angling the center of the kneecap towards the second toe. Sweep your left arm over your head or left hand on hip. Sometimes putting your arm by your head helps so that you can keep the two sides of your neck equally long. You can use your block here. It can come on the inside of the leg, pressing into your back foot. Then inhale and come all the way up. Turn your feet to face forward. Just bring the feet in close enough that you feel steady. Let's take a 5-pointed star again. And then we're going to go to the second side. Left leg turns out. Hands can come to hips. Left knee bends, lines up with the ankle. So for some people, a narrower step, and others a wider step. Back foot, though, either parallel or turned in a little bit. Check that your knee is centered. And as you exhale, start to side bend. Elbow onto thigh can work here as long as your knee feels steady. Press into your back foot. Keep the hand on the hip or circle your arm over your head. Again, hand can go down to the block if that's better, or you can be up quite a bit higher. Not as important what the pose looks like on the outside, but can you hold it in a way that allows you to feel your breath? Let it be like a meditation in motion. Press strongly into your feet now. Use your arm to help you come up. Inhale, come all the way up. Turn the feet to face forward and then step your feet together and just stand. And allow your eyes to close. Feel your breath. Okay, and then from here we're going to kind of melt down. So feet a comfortable distance. Drop your chin towards your chest. Round your spine. Bend your knees whenever you need to. If you've got blocks or something for your hands, rest them. As you round down, though, you can straighten your legs. If your hands are resting on something, balance the hips over the heels. Press into the soles of the feet. And remember when you had the belt around your arch, have the sense that you're almost drawing up with belts. So you're not really lifting the arch as much as there's a feeling of support. And then look up, bend the knees, and let's go down. So if you can go down through a squat, you can do that. Sometimes it's helpful to put a little block or a book under your heels, and you can sit into a squat easily. You can rest your hands, elbows on your hands. Knees can even open. And then we'll use our hands to help us sit right down onto the mat. Extend the legs along the floor. And come into this pose. It's called Dandasana. So sometimes it's a little bit hard on the back. So this is where your stuff comes in handy. You can sit up onto your blanket or a block, pillow. Check that your feet are pointing straight up. And then maybe hands beside you. And I just so happen to have these nice blocks beside me. So I'm going to put my hands there. My chest can lift. Elbows bent so the shoulders can relax away from the ears. And just coming into this shape. Okay. And then I'm going to bring my right leg and tuck it up along the inside of my left leg. My knee goes to the floor easily, but you may need to support your leg. Take a belt. Put the belt right back at that same part. So here's my heel just in front of the arch, and then sit up. Relaxing the shoulders away from the ears. Let's sit upright for a few breaths. Then take the belt into your left hand and turn to your right. And inhale and untwist and start to go towards your left leg. And you can walk your hands forward, keep your hips pressing into the mat, gazing down. It's okay to let the back body open. You can walk your hands up the belt. And then slowly, as you inhale, come up. And maybe take the belt off the foot. Bring your left foot in to touch your right. This pose called cobbler pose or Baddha Konasana, butterfly. And then just take a moment here. And now straighten your right leg out and tuck your left foot in. Again, put a block under your knee if you need. Put your belt or whatever you're using right just above the heel. As you press out through your foot, draw back. Start upright, let the shoulders relax away from the ears. Lift up through the top of the head. And then holding the belt with the right hand, turn to your left. Then inhale, turn to face forward and start to release towards your left. By left, I mean right leg. Extended leg, hips even. Spine long, but also opening. So often we teach that you go forward with the lifted spine. Different types of yoga have different rules about this, but usually people go forward with the lifted spine, and then as you get to your maximum, then you can allow the spine to be more curved and open into the lower vertebrae a little bit. And then slowly inhale and come up. Let's bring those feet in together. It's called Baddha Konasana. As we said, stay. Okay, and then lift your knees. And as you lift your knees, also here, come off the support. And we're going to do a pose called Navasana, or boat. So you lean back. Let's take the hands behind, lift the chest for a moment, and look up. So this is kind of like rowboat or something. It's just maybe a pedal boat. And then the next phase is to bring your hands to the backs of the legs, lift your shins off the floor, but keep your chest lifted. Shoulders away from the ears. And then we can put the feet down. Okay, so if that's usually a lot, but if you feel like giving the full boat a try, you can do the same. You lift your shins, you straighten your legs, chest lifts, arms open. Ta-da! We won't hold it very long. Great. And then come back. Now, as you're ready, you're going to use the hands to lower yourself down. Once again, your blanket or support under your head. Stretch the legs out. Come to rest onto your back. If you like, supports under your knees. And as you come to lie down, take your attention back to your breath, especially the belly area. Feel the belly rise and fall. Feel the chest. And just let yourself relax, breath by breath. Nothing left to do. Allowing the breath to just happen. As always, you can stay in this relaxation pose for as long as you like. Just taking a moment to sign out. If you like, bring your hands to your heart. Taking a moment to honor your own light within and the light within all beings. Thank you so much for joining in. We'll see you again.